how things are going. This structure, the dam, is not following the principles, and you people, by funding such a project, you are really destroying people's lives.
GDP growth is related to energy availability. If you don't have power, you can't really develop. So it is very important that Uganda has enough energy for the next 20 years.
Energy as an engine that drives development. That's the reason for the government of Uganda to build a dam in the River Nile to generate power for the country. The European Investment Bank has invested $136 million in the project. The dam will have an immense impact on both man and nature. Climate change will reinforce this effect. Will the dam contribute to the long-term development of the country?
Uganda has a very big deficit of electricity as we speak now. So currently we've been suffering from power shortages. So we decided that in order to shoulder that power shortage, we put in some thermal plants. And those not only are they more expensive, but they pollute a lot more. So in the background you see that we want to make sure that we build more dams to have cheaper electricity, so that Uganda can become also competitive by giving people lower tariffs on electricity.
With estimation from where you can see those structures coming up, all that will be submerged, and the fields of the people will be submerged. The vegetation you see down here, all of this will be submerged, and these falls that you are seeing and above, especially the Bujagali Falls, all those will be submerged. There will be nothing more to be seen. There are about 8 or 7 small islands, all with very rich biodiversity vegetation, and with other animals and birds being habited in those islands. But all those will be submerged. And when it is eventually submerged, that means it can no longer consume or retain the carbon that it is doing now. Down here, because of the rich soils, if somebody was able to dig a small quarter of an acre to produce 10 bags of cabbage, she will have to dig now in the dry area, which is rocky. She will have to dig twice as much if she wants to get 10 bags of cabbage. If you could see some of the meals they are eating, it's very, very disastrous and very regrettable.
Water levels in Lake Victoria are falling due to the changing climate. This impacts the outflow of the lake into the River Nile. As a result, the dam might yield less than the anticipated 250 megawatts, increasing power rates to levels many Ugandans cannot afford.
We see a decline in the water levels on this lake in the last few years. Part of the reasons we think it is associated with climate change, and what we think is happening is that there is more of evaporation than the rain coming in. If the water levels themselves are not coming up to the expected, then definitely you will not have enough water turn on the turbines, because the 250 is supposed to arise from having 5 turbines, each one producing 50 to make the 250. What if the water levels go even deeper, so that even the 2 dams almost come to stand still? And that would be a disaster. We talked about that before the dam was built. This was made clear. They said no. The government was much interested in having this dam, and they went for it. And when they got resistance, they still insisted.
What we're going to do down the river is we are going to dam more water. So the same water, even though it might be lower, we're producing more electricity as it goes down. So that's why we're going to have more dams downstream, so that we generate more power. But definitely the environmental concerns will be addressed in terms of why is the water and how do we mitigate losing further levels of water in Lake Victoria. It is a very important issue that we have to address, and urgently.
It would be better to go for smaller dams, and we have a lot of water sources where this can be done, but at the same time explore, because in the ideal situation I would want to see Uganda having solar energy, because there is no family which is going to say I didn't have enough solar.
If these financial institutions and EIB is really committed to seeing a change in a poor man's life, is that if they are funding a project like this, the dams, they should put money into an independent EIA, because it is the developer that pays the EIA consultant to do the EIA, and naturally the consultant will be obliged to give his employer, the boss, the results that help him to continue his project.